Hey, my name is Sean B2, and this is going to be the deck gameplay video for Orzhov Razakats. Going to run through a few sample hands, show off some stack starts, maybe show off some combo starts. And so if you go back to the deck description video, there will be a poll in the description for what commander art you want to see in the next video. Comment down below which one of those commanders. And thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy.
Okay, let's get into some more sample hands for the gameplay portion. Let's see. Not that great, really. We don't have much fast mana outside of a Felwar Stone, and yeah. Glad we didn't keep that hand. Gonna take our mulligan, and this is even worse. We hit technically one land. Potentially could keep this because we do have Stitcher's Supplier, but I'm still probably gonna mulligan down a little. And yeah, this is definitely the best of all the hands. We are probably just going to put Deadly Rock on the bottom. Least likely card we're going to cast, so we'll drop her turn 1. High market, not really what we were looking for. Tap to play Stitcher Supplier. 1, 2, 3. So, we can cast a Mana Crypt, but we're going to wait till next turn. We don't need to additionally take damage. Maybe if you're afraid of a Thoughtseize or something like that, then, or a Wheel Effect and you want to cast it, then yeah, you can, but for now, just pass. Next turn, that's a good draw. We needed that additional mana. Play this. Tap, tap, tap. Let's hope we don't have any permanents we can cast from our graveyard, which is disappointing. But yeah, play Lurrus and pass turn. We can cast Fixarian Revoker from our graveyard next turn. And yeah, we're in a decent spot. Next turn, we draw a Blood Pet, which allows for some ramp. Probably play this. Make sure we do our Mana Crypt trigger. Flip a coin. Heads, I don't take damage. And then we just bring this back. Or we tap like that. Name one of our opponent's Name one of our opponent's probably commanders. Shut it down. We have Blood Pet for mana that we can just continually loop together. We don't have a Sacrifice Outlet, which is kind of disappointing, because then we could Stitcher Supplier through our deck pretty quickly, but this is alright. Let me draw planes. Now we're in a really nice spot. We can recast whatever we lose in our graveyard. We can recast we can play a Corpse Knight. We can even reanimate a Timna. Yeah, so this is where Lurrus is just going to gain some value. Sadly, we don't have a Sacrifice Outlet, so you can't just repeatedly cast Stitcher Supplier, but we'll move on to another hand. Okay, this is again a decent hand. Hushbringer is really good because we do not play any we don't play Dockside Extortionist or many ETB creatures, so that's all right. Obviously, there's a Sanctum Prelate. It's not as good now, but still fine. Drop return. Turn 1. Tap. Do library. Get a Scrubland. Shuffle our library and then cast a Hope of Ghirapur, which we can next turn attack and sacrifice if we would like. Drop return, Vault of Champions. Play this. Tap, tap. And Hushbringer actually shuts down a decent number of decks. Any Dockside deck is shut down. And so basically we are in a pretty strong spot again here. We have some nice stacks. We're probably going to play Lurrus next turn and set up in case our opponents remove our Hushbringer. We can just recast it. Just kind of the main point of this deck is you get all this extra protection because you can recast all your creatures from your graveyard, or the majority of your best creatures. So yeah, move on to next turn. Jeweled Lotus is even better. Sacrifice for 3 black. Put Lurrus onto the battlefield. Then we're going to probably just cast or untap. Turn over. Tap. And then we cast Remorseful Seraph. And then we also can do Hope of Ghirapur. Attack with it for 1. Sacrifice it to one of our opponents, making sure they can't cast any non-creature spells. Then we just bring it back and recast it. So, another pretty good spot. We have Hushbringer. We have additional stacks pieces that we can reanimate with Lurrus, or technically not reanimate, just recast from our graveyard. So yeah, we'll go on and move to another hand. Probably the last one. Restart. This one, yeah, this is a really good hand as long as we're not going first. We have Lion's Eye Diamond, which again is good with Lurrus because we can recast Lion's Eye Diamond repeatedly. So yeah, drop return, or what, pregame action. Probably going to remove this Fixarian Revoker. It seems like the worst card right now. Remove it from the game. Maybe if you're playing against like a Thracius deck you want to shut down, you could keep this and get rid of one of the other cards. But we drop return, that's even better than what we had. Godless Shrine, lose 2 life. Tap and tap. Cast an Arcane Signet. Tap. And what do we want to search for? You can search for a... I would say probably just search for a combo piece at the moment. We do have Silence. Actually, here you could probably just search for a stacks piece. And isn't that fast, and you do have Hushbringer, so actually, yeah. I'm going to search my library for something like an opposition agent, I guess. And basically, next turn we draw, well, we need to shuffle. We draw Marsh Flats, which is pretty good. Gonna go get a Scrubland for my deck. Lose a life. Scrubland, put it into play. And yeah, we can either hold up the opposition agent. We can Hushbringer. We have Silence in case one of our opponents goes off. If we're playing a deck that is a Teamer deck or a Jeskai deck that's most likely comboing off with Dox Extortionist, Hushbringer is going to be really good. It is turn 2, so there's going to be some tutor spells coming out probably from our opponents, so opposition agent is also pretty good. And then, yeah, or we could even just cast Lurrus if we would like, and then start using Lion's Eye Diamond to generate some mana. But yeah, we're in a pretty good spot here. I'm just going to say cast a Hushbringer, and pass turn. Next turn, draw a Dark Confidant, even better. And yeah, so we're in a pretty good spot right now. We're in a good stack spot. We have stack pieces, we have combo pieces, we have both. We have now some value engines of Dark Confidant. We have Lurrus to recur our stacks pieces. And yeah, so we'll move on to one hand. This is probably going to be the last one. I thought this one was, but this was a quick hand. Okay, let's get into the last hand. I ended up accidentally having a combo hand and then realizing that I actually couldn't combo off because I missed a step in the combo. Just remember, when you do have, if you are reanimating Razakats and then going for the combo, you have to have a way to sacrifice your Leonin Relic Warder to get back the Animate Dead, which I forgot to do. So I ended up losing the game, and yeah. So make sure you do that. Obviously, you could do it next turn, but that's a big part, and I made that mistake. Okay, so we'll draw for this hand. We'll probably go this into Jewel Lotus into Lurrus. And yeah, we're probably just going to fetch out a tap, and always fetch out your shock lands first. So if I can remember the name, a Godless Shrine, yep. Fetch it into play tapped. Always remember to do that if you're not playing a spell because you don't need to lose the additional life, especially in a deck playing Ad Nauseam. When I really wouldn't say this is a Turbo Nause deck, but still, you're playing Ad Nauseam, so don't really want to do that. I would say you could actually just Diabolic Intent. Well, first go Jewel Lotus, and then Diabolic Intent, and then to Lurrus. But we have a Thorn of the Animus, which is probably just going to go get what's going to be played. Tap, Thorn of the Animus, slowing down all our opponent's decks. We can swing with Lurrus if we want. 3/2 lifelink is pretty good. And yeah, move on to our next turn. Play a High Market, or we could even play an Ancient Tomb. And then a lot of options here. Ranger, Captain of Eos. Yeah, probably cast this. Tap. And then I probably searched for Hope of Ghirapur, but I just wanted to show off what I was talking about earlier with Cabal Therapist. Search for this. Or, whoops. Wrong card. Put this back into my library. Shuffle the library up. And yeah. End the turn again. Most combo decks, as I said, with Thalia. Most Storm decks, a lot of just blue decks in general, can't really beat these spells, especially if they don't have Artifact Hate. So yeah, you can always cast this from your graveyard if you want. And move on to next turn. We get what I think is one of the most interesting things you can do. You're in Cabal Therapist, and you can just sack Cabal Therapist to itself. And if I had additional black mana, I could recast Cabal Therapist again this turn, but I don't. We do have Aven Mind Sensor, and then we have High Market. As again I said, when you try to combo off with this Razakats chain, and you have to have one way to at least sacrifice the Leonin Relic Warder once. High Market does fit that spot, so if you do go for that, you can. Yeah, so basically we can just go this during one of our opponent's turns again. We're playing a lot of stacks pieces. Thorn the Animus already shutting our opponents down. If we know our opponents are playing a lot of wheel effects, like a Thief deck with a Hull Breacher and all those types of cards, you can go Spirit of Labyrinth. If we want to go try to combo out quickly, we can cast Diabolic Intent. And yeah, I think this is going to be the last 10. This is all I'm going to show. We're in a pretty good spot. We can do this Cabal Therapist line where we recast it, sacrifice it, recast it, sacrifice it, recast it. Basically unlimited Cabal therapies. So yeah. So the combo, just remember, if you have Razakats and you're going to search for Leonin Relic Warder and then a Blood Arse effect, you have to make sure you have a way to sacrifice your Leonin Relic Warder to return that animate dead to the battlefield to then get it back and then go for the infinite loop. As I said, I had to delete a part of this video because I made that mistake and did not do that. So that's just a big thing to remember. And thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and make sure to check out the poll in the deck description video, which will have the list of potential commanders I might do for my next video. Whichever one gets the most votes will be the commander for the next video. So, as I said, thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy.